Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to the premier wrestling podcast featuring the one, the only, the wrestling encyclopedia, Vincent Kennedy Bucci.
Yes. WrestleMania. Acknowledge me. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, with a score of 5-3 at the Elimination Chamber. I got a few things to say about that in the beginning, but yes, the Booch is once again the prediction champion, and this is usually the moment where I can say a bunch of stuff. I can gloat. I can talk about how great I am, but first of all, why tell you guys something you already know? That's a waste of my time and yours. And second of all, I don't want to do that because not only is this WrestleMania weekend, but also the Hall of Fame is here. So real quick, we got to give a shout out to the Hall of Fame inductees like we always do because there's a lot of legends in the business. And The Undertaker is the valedictorian in this Hall of Fame class. So The Undertaker is finally going in, which makes sense. You know, dead man, one of the greatest ever. State of Texas, he lives there. Makes valid sense. So, of course, The Undertaker deserves it. Vader's going in, which I did not expect that would ever happen. But, you know, some people are complaining that he should have went in when he was alive or whatever, but who cares? Alive or dead, he's getting his recognition. So I love it. And I was a fan of Vader during his time in WCW. So I'm happy he's getting this opportunity. Queen Sharmel's going in. Everybody's had their thoughts, opinions. They love it. They hate it. She was going to go in at some point. She's going in as a valet and she's in Texas. So what are you going to do? And then, of course, Shad Gaspar getting the Warrior Award. That's actually really heroic, especially since, as most people don't know, Shad passed away a few years back. He was, apparently his son they were at the beach. His son was drowning and he was saving his son. Good news is he saved his son. He's okay. Bad news is Shad drowned as a result. So they were able to save his son, but not him. So he was able to, so they're giving him the Warrior Award because of how great of a humanitarian he was. And dude died saving his kid. What better way to get a Warrior Award than that? And then, of course, the shocker of all shockers, which almost makes me wish I was seeing the Hall of Fame, the Steiner brothers are going in to the Hall of Fame.
Holla, if you hear me.
Absolutely. Rick and Scott Steiner, which of course means if you need a reason to see the Hall of Fame, I'll give you the reason right here. Scott Steiner, live microphone.
Oh, man.
I've worked shows with Scott Steiner. You get him a live microphone. Oh, dear God. The question is, will he blow his top or will he keep his composure so he doesn't bury his nephew? We're going to find out.
Not safe for the Shoney brunch crowd. That's for sure.
No. Not Scott Steiner. Don't get me wrong. I love Scott Steiner. Like I said, I get along with him. He's a great guy, but I know how he is with a live microphone, so it's going to be scary. But either way, shout outs to the Hall of Famers. It's fantastic. And then, of course, the Elimination Chamber. This I was not expecting to be a good pay-per-view, and it kind of was. I thought the Roman Goldberg match, liked it, could have gone on a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree.
Here's my issue with this. There were two things missing from this match and one mess up. I felt Goldberg should have hit a jackhammer and Roman should have kicked out. That was the first thing. Second thing, the big build for this match is spear versus spear. Goldberg spears Roman Reigns. At no point in this match did Roman spear Goldberg. Not one time. If you go back and watch the tape, at no point in the match does Roman hit a spear on Goldberg. Didn't even attempt. I think he attempted one and Goldberg countered it.
We're going to get the team on this. We're going to get the production team on this. So on the next episode, we'll cover this.
Yes, it did not happen, which is stupid. It should have been like Roman should have hit at least 4 spears, one from each corner, and then cover Goldberg. Goldberg kicks out. Roman's like, what the hell do I got to do? Then lock in the guillotine, choke him out. Would have been a 10 times better match. So, and then, of course, he goes for the guillotine. At one point, Goldberg's literally holding on to the rope. The ref sees it and does nothing. Like the referee botching, which is not uncommon in modern wrestling. The referees, some of them are poorly trained, very poorly trained. And this one definitely
new crop.
Was.
The new crop. I miss the Hebner era.
Yes.
Earl Hebner. And who's the blonde guy? He's still at it, right?
Charles Robinson, yeah.
Robinson, yeah.
Yeah, he's good. He's good. He's on his stuff. And then, of course, we had the Women's Elimination Chamber. We knew Bianca was going to win. Who we kidding? But of course, I will say I had some good moments in this match. I thought Doudrop did fantastic. She was insane. Bianca and Rhea, test of strength, one-upping each other. Always great to see in a match. They're trying to one-up each other by beating the hell out of the other opponent. It's always a genius, great move. Nikki running scared when Rhea came out of the pod. Thought that was hilarious. Alexa Bliss getting fired up. And Liv Morgan, normally I'm not a big fan, but I will say the sunset flip powerbomb to eliminate Doudrop. If you were going to eliminate her, that was the best way to do it. So I enjoyed that match. I enjoyed that part of the match. And of course, Bianca's going to WrestleMania. Then we got Naomi and Ronda Rousey, Charlotte and Sonya. I reluctantly watched this match, but I will say I understood why they did this. They had Ronda tie her arm behind her back so they could legitimately beat on her and make her sell.
Okay.
That was the only reason that worked.
They had to do this, Booch.
They had to.
Because without this, you can't book this match, first of all, because we all know that she would absolutely destroy Charlotte Flair.
Yes.
With 2 arms.
Yes.
Preferably 2 hands. But I believe even if she had a nub plus an arm and a hand, she could still beat Charlotte Flair, even with the nub. Like give her the dolphin hook or something.
Yeah.
So they had to do it, and they booked it, I think, as best as they could. And I was not disappointed with this match. I actually liked the match, and it had me feeling tense the whole time. And that's the way I should feel. I should never feel like relaxed during a pay-per-view. I always want to feel like I'm going to crap my pants at any given moment.
Yeah, the edge of your seat. You want to be on the edge of your seat. That's where the excitement is.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, after that, Ronda taps out Sonya, which got the point to me because we did that little prop side bet where pinfall submission. That's the only reason Wens didn't get a point for this. Otherwise, that's the only reason.
The worst part is it was my idea.
Yes, that's the thing.
Everything that doesn't work in my favor on this show is always my idea, never Bucci's.
Exactly. So he can't complain. You can't get mad.
I mean, I could, but it wouldn't be valid.
Exactly. It wouldn't make sense. And then you got Drew McIntyre and Madcap Moss, false count anywhere. That was the only false count anywhere was the only way to make this match watchable. And even then it was 9 minutes of why are you here?
This was my restroom break.
Match.
Yes.
And then of course then you had the Usos and the Viking Raiders didn't even happen. So we got no points on that.
Yeah. What's up with that? What's the insight on that?
I don't know. I think they were just trying to make it part of the show, but they forgot dude, you're flying everybody out to Saudi Arabia, just doing no contest. You might as well done a vignette. You might as well done a vignette, a video, like a pre-recorded video where they try to get on the plane and the Usos beat them up at the airport.
Yeah, something like that.
Let them stay home. Don't make them fly all the way out to Saudi Arabia and not even wrestle. It's like, why are you? Why? That would have pissed me off. Can we just do a vignette and the fucking like let us board the private jet, then we get beat up in the parking lot, and then they gotta bus us back inside or whatever, and then let us go home, and then you guys come back.
Makes sense to me.
Yeah. Then you had Becky Lynch versus Lita, match of the night. This was the match of the night.
I fell asleep during this match about a third of the way through. I'm terrible about falling asleep during ladies' matches for some reason.
Yeah. It happens. It happens. But Lita was definitely good in this match, but we knew Becky was going to win because it was WrestleMania. And like I said, I thought the putting the match together, I thought was stupid, like the build up and everything, but the match did deliver. And then the men's elimination chamber, Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Riddle, and Seth freaking Rollins. And so we have that match. And then again, we knew Brock was going to win. And here's the thing. What I found interesting about this is this match went down the way you would play it if it were in a video game. One guy comes in, eliminates everybody. Brock's like F5, 1, 2, 3. German suplex, F5, 1, 2, 3. Take Austin Theory off the pod, which I'm surprised he's still breathing. That should have killed him.
I'm surprised Austin Theory has a match at Mania after that spectacle. Seriously. But he's Vince's guy now, ever since the missing egg. I'm telling you, there's something to this whole story.
Exactly. And what made it even better was the fact that, Brock, obviously Austin Theory had a good shot. He low blows Brock Lesnar, runs for the hills. And here's how you know Brock's a professional. He gets the pinfall. He's the new WWE champion. He's going into WrestleMania with the belt. you notice after the match, he does that weird little dance thing in the ring that people were making fun of. It's because he's shaking off the effects of getting hit in the nuts. He's selling the nut shot after the match, which is a thing that most wrestlers forget to do.
Dude, most wrestlers don't remember which leg is hurt.
Exactly.
So Brock Lesnar is so underrated. And granted, I used to crap on him a lot, Booch, because he used to miss weeks on end. But it's like he's changed. Ever since he separated himself from the UCW, it's like he may be part-time at home with Sable on the ranch. Yeah. But when he's committed to WWE, I can tell. And it's moments like that, Booch, that prove it.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. I mean, he really is like, this is like the best he's ever been. He's happy, he's smiling, he's kicking ass, he's having a good time. Like, he turns it on and off. Like, you can tell he wants to be there now.
Yep.
It's like he found the love for it again. Not that he didn't love it before, but now he's at a point where he feels comfortable showing it. Mm-hmm. And I think it's when he realized Paul wasn't going to be in his corner anymore, he had to turn it on. And it was like, you're thinking, where was this Brock in 2002?
Booch, I got to tell you, I know exactly when the turn happened. It happened when his Facebook stories became half-naked girls in skimpy clothing. I don't know. Whenever that happened is when this new Brock emerged. And I'm not pro or against. I'm just letting you know that that's when it happened. I like the new Brock, but it is interesting that his whole Facebook story are always half-naked girls. Check it out for yourselves. Facebook, follow Brock Lesnar. It's the official account. It's not a pirated account. Look it up right now, Booch. Right now in real time, I want you to do this on the desktop. This is live radio, folks. We'll do it live. We're doing it right now. Here. It'll say swipe up. It'll be some hot chick. You know.
All right. Well, while I'm looking at it, how do you feel about the Hall of Fame and Elimination Chamber and other things?
So, first of all, I'm disappointed that I lost Elimination Chamber, but I also see a new day ahead, and WrestleMania is here. So I'm going to put that 5-3 loss behind me. We have 14 matches to get to at Mania 38. So I'm very hopeful, Booch. I think I can get my title back here. And the Hall of Fame, of course, you know, Undertaker is a first ballot Hall of Famer, no doubt there. I remember Vader passing, but I can't remember when he died. Do you remember that, since you're the wrestling encyclopedia?
I believe it was a couple years ago.
Okay.
I know that I can't remember these. I'll look. I mean, the exact year.
If it was 2020, no reason. We all get it. It was a haze. It's like the dark ages.
No, actually, it was 2018. It was 2018.
Okay, so it was a few years ago. Okay.
So yeah, it was about 4 years ago. Because I know he was having heart problems, and I remember DDP got a lot of controversy because Vader wanted to go get help from Dallas, with weight loss and getting back in shape and everything. And Dallas's argument was telling Vader, hey man, you need to take time away from the ring so you can properly rehab from this. But Vader couldn't because he had to make money. He said, well, you can do autograph signings. Don't get in the ring. He said, because if you're going to wrestle, you're going to make the process more difficult. So otherwise I'm not going to be able to help you. And of course, you know how media is sometimes. They just put the headline, I'm not able to help you, and people just ran with that. And DDP
right.
They cut out the part where he tried to explain to him, you can't wrestle while you're doing this he's not saying you got to give up the ring completely. Just take enough time off to where I can really help you. Then once you're back medically, get back in the ring, have a good time, do what you want to do. But Vader wouldn't take the time off. So that was a big argument. And then later on, Vader passed away and everything. But yeah, it was sad that he's gone, but I'm glad he's getting his shot in the Hall of Fame.
And then obviously Queen Charmel, Booker T's wife, right? In real life?
Yes, that's his wife. Yeah.
How long have they been married for?
Quite a few years. They met in WCW because Charmel was one of the Nitro girls back in the day. I believe, yeah. So they were that's how they met. They're still married. And then eventually she became like a valet and a manager. And at one point, I think she was in OVW. I think she was trying to become a wrestler, but eventually afterwards, I guess she got like an injury or something, and she ended up not being able to physically wrestle. But she later became a valet. She was the one that did the all hail King Booker that annoyed a generation of wrestling fans everywhere. Like, it's funny now. It wasn't when it was on TV.
Was that like 2008-ish,
Yes.
2009-ish, something?
Yeah, it's when Booker T suddenly became British.
King Booker.
Yes, out of nowhere.
Yep.
So yeah, it was definitely during the 2006, 7, 8 run. Then they were in TNA together. And I think she was like a runner. I think she was like she was the 1991 Miss Black America pageant. She was Miss Black Indiana.
Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah.
So they met in WCW back when he was part of Harlem Heat, right?
I don't know if he was. He wasn't Harlem Heat in WCW, but he eventually went solo, became a single star. So I don't know if it was while he was a single star or while he was in Harlem Heat. But either way, she was part of the Nitro Girls.
That's awesome. I remember the Nitro brand. It was always it was Nitro versus Raw. It was the Monday Night War, and there's an awesome documentary on the WWE Network, or it's Peacock now that you have to have that. But it highlights all the ups and downs of that, and Bischoff and the McMahons, and it's just great. It's awesome. And then Chad Gaspar getting the Warrior Award. I don't remember that story, but that's definitely touching. And man, I just can't imagine all of that. What you said, that's like sacrifice incarnate, sacrificing oneself for somebody else. And obviously that's it's not a tear, Booch. It's dust in here. Let's move it forward. WrestleMania 38. Here we go. We got our predictions coming at you. Night 1 of 2. Booch, I don't know what else to say other than this is the most stupendous 2-night event in WrestleMania history. And we're going to get to it right now. Prediction time. Night 1. Becky Lynch, the current Raw Women's Champion, taking on the EST of WWE, Miss Belair. Do you think she's actually from Belair?
It'll be intriguing to see. If we'll know if she is by whether or not she's got a good right hand. If she knows how to slap, she's definitely from Belair, as we know.
Oh, ouch.
I've seen Bianca slap some people. She could be from there.
We'll cover this briefly and we'll get back to wrestling. But I gotta give Will Smith some credit. He's a stand-up guy in the sense that I would never knuckle up for another man's girl like he did.
Yeah, I agree. That is the most tremendous thing. And I did, and you know what, that was interesting? We now found out why he didn't win any awards for Ali.
Why is that?
He slapped Chris. He didn't knock him out. Chris was still standing. So that explains why you didn't win anything for Ali. I mean, it's apparently.
Hold on. Oh, I needed that. But let's get back to wrestling. Got to let the dog out quickly here. Bianca Belair, the challenger in this match. Booch, I got to tell you, I got my choice locked in here. I locked it in before we started. I made an adjustment before we started, as you know, but once I'm locked in here.
Yes.
You see the green. The word art is clear, Booch. I'm picking the EST of WWE to become the new ambassador for the Raw Women's brand. She's deserved, she's due, and she's believable in every sense. She's the perfect person for the job.
She is.
And say you.
Well, I want to see her as champion, but it's hard. This is one of those matches that I can't really get behind, like, as a fan, because A, I've seen it already, and B, the champion she's facing is not the champion she should be facing. I'm not going to go into detail about it. I already did that on the Elimination Chamber thing, but I'm just going to say there's a money-making match that WWE could have made, and they dropped the ball with it horribly. So, and if you want to know what I'm talking about, go back and watch the other video. I ain't going to get into it here. But I will say, that being said, Bianca has no choice. She has to win this match. There is no, maybe she can win it in a month. Maybe she can win it in 2 months. Maybe she can win the women's Money in the Bank. No, she has to leave Dallas, Texas with the Raw Women's title or she's done. Because Bianca's already embarrassed her at SummerSlam. Squeaked by the Royal Rumble, I believe it was. They fought the last time. It wasn't that. It was the one before it. Or maybe it was day one. I can't remember exactly the last time they fought. But there's no choice. Bianca has to win this match because otherwise she's done. Now, does Becky have other challengers she can face after Bianca? Absolutely. But Bianca's been through so much already. If she doesn't get this moment, she's buried. She's done. You might as well release her because she's going to bring, because she won't be worth a damn in WWE. She won't be. She can't suffer another loss to Becky Lynch and then still go out there and be credible. It's impossible. So I'm going with Bianca because that's the only choice.
Listen, it's hard to argue with that because you're right. Where do they go from here if she loses this match? So by necessity, we have both selected the EST of WWE to kick off the evening. The second match, the Mysterio family trying to get some honor back after having his mask stripped from him, publicly humiliated by The Miz. I mean, it doesn't get much worse for a luchador. Can Logan Paul really become a WWE superstar, Booch?
Well, here's the thing. He tried to be a boxer. Everyone laughed at him. And he did pretty damn good at boxing.
Really dang good.
I mean,
really dang good.
I mean,
he made money.
Yep. Yeah, he's made money. Jake Paul has made money, like his brother. Like, they are not only making money at boxing, but they've had good fights. So it's not like he was getting knocked out in the first round, but still walking around going, hey, look at all the money we made. So like, no, Logan Paul held his own against like KSI. He's even gone as far as to want to challenge Floyd Mayweather. I mean, like he surprised a lot of people with how good and the thing is, he took it seriously. That's why he did so well. Mm-hmm. And with this, he's taking this seriously too. Although I got to admit, it's booking standpoint. This is the perfect tag team because they found the one person on the planet that is a bigger douche than The Miz. And they took the biggest douchebag on YouTube and the biggest douchebag in wrestling are on the same team. Like, literally, Miz and Logan Paul are made for each other. The only difference is I actually like Logan Paul. That's the only difference between the two of them. So, I mean, I say the douche because he is, but I don't say that hatefully because I've never hated Logan Paul. I like Logan Paul. We know how I feel about the other guys, so we'll get into that. But if I look at this match, this is going to be a tough one because I thought The Miz was going to win last time. I was shocked that he didn't. I was very surprised that Rey Mysterio won because I thought there was going to be some kind of screw up or whatever.
Well, you thought some deep-seated family lineage drama was going to go down, right?
I did, and I
did. And that person called you out. I want them to call you out on this clip. I'm going to make a clip out of this, and I want them to at you on this because you said you were going to at them when it went down. Yeah,
I will. I was going to wait for it, but it sadly didn't happen. But this is going to –
But I loved it. I love like, they should have done it. Why not? What are they waiting for? It's going to happen.
Great.
It's going to Mysterio. It's going to happen eventually. They're not going to ride this wave forever. Or maybe is Dominic the next Ray? Like, they have to keep the Mysterio thing going. Yeah. Maybe they're going to keep it going with this forever.
Yeah.
Why not ride the wave?
Exactly. But I mean, they can if that's what they want to do. So there's nothing wrong with that. I just feel like Miz bringing it up and the fans from 2005 that saw the rivalry between Ray and Eddie. In fact, here's the crazy part. In the WWE 2K22 video game, the showcase mode revolves around Rey Mysterio. And they have a couple matches with him and Eddie. So I haven't played the showcase yet. I know one of their matches from WCW is in the showcase. But I can tell you right now, if Ray versus Eddie, SummerSlam 2005 ladder match is in this showcase, then this storyline can now be fresh in everyone's mind and can lead to that.
let me ask you, are you big on WWE video games?
Yes,
Okay.
I bought the newer one.
Is it good? Everybody's like the critics, all the scuttlebutt. It was like it's the best game ever. Like,
Okay.
is it good?
Do I have time to tell the story?
How much time is time?
I just want to know. I'll make it as quick as I can, but here it is.
All right,
I
go ahead.
bought 2K22
All right.
the day it came out. I had to wait a couple days, and I've been working like crazy. I finally opened the package. I put the game in. It downloads everything, and I was stuck in this weird demo mode where all I could play was normal one-on-one matches. I only had 8 wrestlers to choose from. I'm like, what the hell is wrong with this game? I go online, and everybody's giving me every idea to do this. They're like, delete the game and reinstall it. Did that, didn't work. You gotta wait till it's fully downloaded. I fully downloaded it, didn't work. They said, play a couple matches, maybe it'll freeze up and turn back on. I saw a guy do that on YouTube. Tried that, played 12 matches, nothing happened. Then they said, maybe you got too much data on your PS4. Maybe you should delete a couple games. Call my brother. Hey, do you give me a shit about any of these games? No, I ain't played them in forever. Deleted those. Still nothing. Here's how crazy I got. I was so obsessed trying to get this game to work. I reset the whole PS4 because I ran out of ideas. I reset anything that was ever on that PS4, gone, put the game in, still nothing. I take it to my friend's house, Desmond, who's on the Desmond. I take it to his house. We put it on his console. Didn't work there either. Turns out the disc was defective the whole time. I thought my PS4 was broken. I go to GameStop. They switched it out. And I knew something was up because I was telling this guy who played the game, who worked at GameStop, and probably goes, when you turned it on, did you see the Drew Gulak tutorial? I'm like, the what? The Drew Gulak tutorial. I'm like, wait a minute.
Googly Gob?
Yeah, Gaba Gulak has a tutorial in the game. He goes, yeah. So I put the new disc in. All of a sudden, I started hearing music. Didn't hear that before. Click the button. There's Gaba Gulak on the screen. Hey, you want to be a WWE superstar? So I got the game finally to work. But I deleted everything off.
Wait, are you sure that it's actually the functional copy if it does in fact have Drew Gulak on it?
Yes, because as soon as you hit start, it goes there, and you have the choice of doing the tutorial or bypassing it. But if Gaba Gulak, if you don't hear music, so I'm gonna say anybody out there hasn't bought the game yet, here's a red flag. If you don't hear any music and Gaba Gulak don't pop up on the screen after you click the button, it says press any button. As soon as you press it, if Gulak don't pop up on the screen, you have a defective game.
That's a good rule of thumb. I like that.
Switch it out before you do all the crazy shit that I did. But anyway, so yes, the game is fun now. But I spent the last week having a goddamn meltdown.
Is it an EA? Is it an EA game?
It's 2K.
Oh, okay. So it's a 2K game. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Because I was gonna say I have EA Play, so I was gonna see if I get it on the discount. But okay, cool. So yeah, so out of 5, 4 out of 5, 4.5 out of 5, 4 3/4 out of 5.
I'm gonna say 3 out of 5 for now. I might give it 2 more depending on how the career mode goes.
After you download the game, you'll give it more stars.
I downloaded the game. Yeah, basically, I'm saying that I've created my wrestler already. I just got to put him through the career mode.
All right, can I just say something about career mode real quick?
Sure.
I don't want to do career mode. I don't want to art role. I want to do a franchise, a fantasy draft. I want to build my own team and do 10 years and then get to the point where they make up players and I'm working with this roster of people that are made up. And that's the beauty in my mind. I never want to create because I only play sports games pretty much.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like, I don't care about creating a player and all that. I don't want to go through Destiny mode and all that. I just want to create my franchise and keep it moving. And I also don't want to have to be connected to the servers to be in franchise mode. That doesn't make any sense. Like I should be able to work offline. But I digress. Back to the match. We each had our
back to the match. I'm looking at this and I made this mistake. Here's the thing. I made the mistake of betting on the Miz once and it came back to bite me in the ass. But with Logan Paul on his team, and I'm hearing that Logan Paul might do more things with WWE going forward. They haven't said whether it's going to be in ring. I've heard it might be some behind the scenes stuff, maybe on the writer's squad or whatever. So I think because Logan Paul might potentially has a long-term relationship with WWE, I'm going to go with the Miz and Logan Paul. I may hate myself tomorrow, but I'm going to do it.
Wow. Wow, we are going to disagree for the first time on the show today. I am going with the Mysterio clan. Boyaka, Boyaka, 619. They will win this match at WrestleMania 38 and beat Twin Douche, Miz, and Paul. Drew McIntyre versus Happy Corbin with Madcap Moss. Booch, who you got in this one?
It's Drew McIntyre.
Yeah.
And here's the thing. Why does anyone think we give a single damn, and that's me being nice because the male soap opera moment, about this rivalry or this? I didn't care at the Elimination Chamber. I don't care now. I just hope it doesn't open the show, because I might need time to go to the bathroom or get a cigarette or use my cell phone, because that's the match I'm doing it on. Because, dear God, why is this happening? So yeah, Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, for sure. Squash match for sure. The Usos taking on Shinsuke and Rick Boogs. You know, Booch, I never, and you never, like to go against the Usos or the New Day. So in this case, I got to tell you, I'm going with the Usos just by default.
I know. Every bit of common sense I have says Usos. And everybody knows how I feel about Shinsuke Nakamura. Not a fan. I have not been a fan since he walked into the company.
I think Zoom just had a blip. I think there was maybe an outage somewhere. And did you say Shinsuke Nakamura?
Yes, I did. Let's go with that. Sure, let's go with that. But I will say this: as much as I hate Nakamura, I love Rick Boogs. Yeah, he looks like Freddie Mercury on steroids, and it's great. I love it, and I think for no other reason than to see him with a belt. Because I don't know if Rick Boogs is just a manager or they're actually going to give him a singles run at any point. So I feel like if he's ever going to get a title, this might be the time. And I feel like this WrestleMania could be the feel good moment, because Vince likes most of the time at WrestleMania to send the fans home happy. So as much, like I said, I'm gonna go with Nakamura and Boogs. I'm gonna see. I think they're gonna shock everybody, and I think that's gonna be their day, their time.
You know, I also think he reminds me of a mix between like the Honky Tonk Man, Zack Ryder, and Elias. Like if those three had a love child, don't picture that in your mind, please. Don't do that to yourself. But that would be this character, Rick Boogs, in my view.
Yeah.
And as far as predictions go, Booch, yeah, I got to tell you, I got to stick with tradition and go with the Usos. So we disagree on 2 points. There will be a clear-cut winner here in Wen's World. The New Day taking on Sheamus and Ridge Holland. This match could actually be a sleeper match in my view. This might be a good one.
Yeah. I mean, I'm looking at it, and I didn't even know Xavier was back. Yeah. I forgot they were even back. I know Big E's out with the fractured neck.
Yeah. Collarbone, right?
Yeah. Thankfully he's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not broken. It was just fractured. And in case anybody wants to know, they documented it on dirt sheets and stuff. Ridge did go to the hospital and see Big E after the match to, do the thing that you do when you accidentally hurt somebody in a match. You go and apologize and make amends and all that.
What happens? So what do you do when you drop somebody from like 70 or 80 feet up in a bird costume at a pay-per-view and they land on the ropes, and then you continue the pay-per-view throughout the night?
What do you do? Well, if they continue the pay-per-view, you do what you got to do to continue the pay-per-view. But if you go back and watch that pay-per-view, which you can find it somewhere, it's on the network. They just, anything involving the bird, as you called it, was edited out. But if you look real closely, no one touches that corner of the ring. If you go back and watch every match that followed the incident, no one goes near that corner, and you can still see the dent and even some of the dry blood.
And let it be known, I'm not making fun of a dead person. I'm literally spotlighting what actually happened because I've heard or I've seen a number of accounts. I didn't just see one story and make my mind up.
Yeah.
There were stories that said that Owen Hart refused to practice it, refused to come back in, that said that he was like supposed to be there for rehearsal and was like, nah, and left the building and was like, he wasn't comfortable with heights. If you're not comfortable with heights, why wouldn't you take extra special precaution and know when to pull what rope and how and when and like all the he didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
But one thing I will say, the last words that were out of his mouth were watch out. He didn't, it wasn't, I'm, oh my gosh, help me. It was watch out. I don't want to destroy you. And that is so like knowing you're going to die and knowing that how, like, that's again, that just spotlighted the kind of guy he was. Sorry, Booch. I didn't mean to interrupt you. But
no, it's okay. It's okay. It's like I said, if you saw Dark Side of the Ring, it tells you a lot about the story. And also, and I hate to do this, but I'm gonna. It's a shame. I normally they say shameless plug. There's some shame in this plug, but I'm gonna plug it. On the Boochcast YouTube channel, we do a review of the Dark Side of the Ring Owen Hart episode, and we talk about it. So if you want to hear how me, Elvis, and Desmond honestly feel about it, you can go check it out on the Boochcast YouTube channel. Just go to the Dark Side of the Ring playlist. I think it's episode 16. We got like 20 something on there, but episode 16 is where we talk about, it's called The Final Days of Owen Hart.
That's awesome. Yeah, definitely got to check that out for sure. I actually have to see the documentary before I check out your critique of it. So,
oh yeah, that's fair. And that is fair. I recommend people see the documentary, then hear us talk about it. But as far as this match goes, I don't know where to go with this one.
We have a rule of thumb. The rule of thumb is never bet against the New Day or the Usos, and you've already done that once. So why stop now?
You're so encouraging. I like that.
Well, I like to win. So
here's the thing: they got Butch in the corner, which all the NXT guys we know him as Pete Dunne.
Nice insight.
Yes. If Butch was in the match, I'd go with them, but he's not. So I'm going to go with the New Day.
Okay. All right. I'm going to drag your pick on over here.
Yes.
I can't. Over to the New Day.
I can't go against both the Usos and the New Day.
Okay. So this next match. Oh, by the way, obviously I'm not going to go against that. I'm picking the New Day. I mean,
oh yeah. Well, I already know it's there. Yeah.
Yeah. But they don't know that because I'm not sharing.
Exactly. Oh yeah.
All right. So is there any more data? Is there any more insight on the dark webs besides all of our social security numbers? Do we know who Seth freaking Rollins is facing Saturday night?
I got a good idea.
Oh, please espouse while I use the restroom just briefly. Very briefly.
Are you sure? You don't want to be here when I tell it?
No. I'll hear it while I do all the editing on this video. So
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, there has been lots of speculation on who this is going to be. And if everything that I've been seeing through the dirt sheets, as you guys know, I frequent the dirt sheets because as a wrestling analyst, it is part of my job. You know, I'm on the Boochcast. I got to do a lot of things, so I got to be on top of everything. By the way, I'll give you guys a little plug here. If you want to listen to the Boochcast, we're on Anchor, Spotify, Breaker, Google Podcasts, and iHeartRadio. So just look up the Boochcast. We're there. And we have it on good authority that Seth's mystery opponent is none other than Cody Rhodes. That's right. Cody Rhodes, who left AEW. There's been speculation that he signed with WWE and that they're going to bring him back at WrestleMania. Now, some people think it's a good idea. Some people think it's a bad idea. Here's how I look at it. If you're going to bring back Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania is a good place to do it. And the reason is because Cody Rhodes has made a huge name for himself since leaving the WWE. When he finally got released, he went to Impact Wrestling for a little while. He went to Ring of Honor, did a lot of big things there. They had the All In pay-per-view that they did, you know, with him, Kenny, Cody, the Bucks, the Elite. They put that together, and then later they formed the company AEW, which is currently competing against WWE. So Cody did all this. This is all Cody. You know, I know there's other EVPs and people that might have helped Cody out, but Cody was the brainchild behind all of this. He is the architect of All Elite Wrestling. So to have him leave and come to WWE is a big deal. And I think now that Vince has seen what Cody is capable of, Cody's going to get a great push when he comes back. I swear to God, if Vince drops the ball on Cody Rhodes, it will be the dumbest thing WWE has done in a very long time. Because right now, a lot of wrestlers don't want to go to WWE. They want to go to AEW. And the reason they want to go to AEW is because AEW allows the wrestlers to have the freedom that WWE doesn't give them. Also, Tony Khan, sometimes to his detriment, treats his talent with more respect than WWE does. It's like here you're not just a number, you're family. It's that kind of employer-employee relationship. You don't feel like you're just another number or another gear in the switch and everything. You feel like you're part of the creative process and everything. Now, I don't know what WWE's like because I don't work there. So I'm only hearing what I'm hearing from other people. And so a lot of wrestlers want to go to AEW because they want creative freedom. But I always tell people, if you want to be trained properly, go to WWE. Because you might not get a lot of freedom in WWE, but I promise you this, when you do leave WWE, you will know how to work. You will know this business properly because you will have proper trainers who are not going to be yes men. They're going to tell you what you want, what you need to, they're going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear. And that is key to getting better. So Vince would be very smart to capitalize on that. So right now, currently, the big rumor is Cody. So that's what we got here. Cody Rhodes is going to be, they're saying he's going to be the guy. And now I have heard other people say it could be John Cena, but that's a left field prediction. That's not solid. The only solid prediction we have is Cody Rhodes.
I think that's a solid prediction. Stand by. Minor emergency. All right. Yeah, I think I've heard similar rumors. I didn't want for this one. I honestly wanted to. A part of me wanted to know on the dirt sheets who the person was going to be, and but I didn't look it up, Booch. I did not look it up, and I still, for the life of me, couldn't think of anybody besides Cody Rhodes.
Yeah,
that could fill this part. So I think you're 99.9% effective.
Yes.
On this pick. There's always that 0.1% chance. So if it's Cody Rhodes, I mean, I locked in because I took the field here. So I'm going to stick with my lock. I can't change it now. I'm going to pick Seth freaking Rollins against the field, including Cody Rhodes.
Okay, well.
Let me say that over, please. I butched that.
All right.
Booch, I'm taking Seth freaking Rollins over the field, including Cody Rhodes, despite the fact that I know in my head that there's no way that they book Cody Rhodes in this match and he loses, but I believe in Seth freaking Rollins.
Hey, there's always that possibility, but like I said, I strongly believe it's Cody Rhodes, but I'm going to take the field regardless. So I got a strong idea it's going to be Cody Rhodes. So I think Cody's going to win. And if for some reason it isn't Cody, then whoever it is beats Seth. But I strongly believe it's going to be Cody.
And that moves us to the match that I've been waiting to get to just to hear Booch's take on obviously the deserving champion, Charlotte Flair, as she takes on Ronda Rousey with both hands and both arms. Is that correct, Booch?
Yes, she's got everything. Hands, feet,
all her
she can do it all.
appendages.
All
Okay,
her appendages,
cool.
yes.
Wonderful. That'll make it for a somewhat fair fight. Genetically superior still to Charlotte Flair. I think Ronda Rousey could beat Charlotte and Rick in Rick's prime. What do you think?
Oh, Ronda would mop the floor with Ric Flair.
Like in his prime. I mean, like
yeah.
in his okay.
I mean, look, Ric Flair's a great wrestler. Ronda is a great fighter. So
okay, let's say all right, let's say that Rick had a brick in his hand. Do you think that him and Charlotte could beat Ronda Rousey?
No, but only because Ronda's got good reflexes. She can dodge that brick. They would both, each one would have to be holding a brick for them to win.
You can dodge a wrench. You can dodge a ball.
Yep. You can dodge a brick. You can dodge a ball. She's got good reflexes like that.
You got to go with Ronda Rousey, right? I mean, Charlotte Flair, like, there's no way. There's no way unless the only way that Charlotte Flair wins this match is via disqualification, right?
Yeah, which assuming this is the main event, because I heard something else is going to be the main event, that will screw up your whole night. If they end this in a disqualification or a count out, and if Charlotte pins or God forbid taps Ronda, you might as well send her back home. You've killed her value right there.
I think that's a hot take. I think that's a hot take, Booch. There is a way that Charlotte Flair, this is how you do it. You find her special bottle in the back and you put some medication in there that makes you sleepy, like anti-nausea medication.
Yeah.
And then you make sure that you shake it up so she can't tell. You make sure she drinks it about 45 minutes before the match, and then you put her to sleep. That's the way that you beat Ronda Rousey. Spoiler alert, Charlotte Flair, that's how you get it done. I'm not suggesting that you should drug people. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that if that's the only way that Ronda Rousey can lose this match, legit.
Boy. Yeah.
This might not make the final copy. I don't know. I might forget to edit this out, but if I do forget to edit this out, I'm not suggesting you should drug people. Okay. If I ever run for politics, if I ever become so foolish, I'm going to take Ronda Rousey. Booch, are you taking the True Flair or Ronda Rousey?
I am definitely taking Ronda Rousey. I would never pick Charlotte Flair. I can't say that. I have done it before against my better judgment, but in this case, Ronda's definitely winning. She has to.
Out of necessity, you've chosen
out of necessity. Yeah. It has to be. Like, first of all, I said it before, I'll say it again. Ronda should be facing Becky at this pay-per-view. This match shouldn't even be happening, but Vince has to take the princess must get everything she wants. So we must please the brat.
Wait, don't talk about Ronda Rousey like that. Hey, let's move it on. Let's move it on here. Sunday.
Oh, wait. Before we go to Sunday, I have to ask a question.
Yes.
Because I've been hearing something else might close out WrestleMania.
Wait, what?
This might not even be the main event. There's rumors. Ronda guarantees it is, but there's rumors going around the internet. Another match might close out the show, even though technically it's not. It hasn't been fully billed as a match, but it could be. And that is, of course, KO and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay. Can I just say that was one of the best promos I've seen in a long time the other Monday night? I thought Stone Cold was going to come out 2 times in a matter of 15 minutes. And you know what? Everybody takes a dump on KO, and sometimes deservedly so. But that man is freaking due for something. I think Kevin Owens is so underrated. I think he's so underrated. He does so much for that brand. And I got to say that if anybody deserves a shot with one of the greatest Hall of Famers of all time in Stone Cold Steve Austin, it's Kevin Owens. Obviously, Stone Cold wins the match. Come on. Yeah. That's not even,
I mean, absolutely. But I have to say this, though. As excited I am for this match, I have to ask for the possibility of this match. I have to ask this question. Am I the only one that thinks it's kind of dumb that out of all the times Austin could have came out of retirement, facing Hogan, the dream match everybody wanted, never happened. Him against Goldberg, which was a dream during the Monday Night Wars, never happened. CM Punk tried to get him out of retirement in 2012. Nothing. They've tried Brock Lesnar. They even tried to get that match because it never happened because the night Austin was supposed to fight Lesnar was when he walked out on the company. So all these
payday he wanted. He finally got the payday he wanted, dude.
Yeah, but here's the thing though. Out of all these moments to bring him out of retirement, the thing that got Austin off the couch after 19 years were promos cut by Kevin Owens that were almost directly out of an episode of SpongeBob SquarePants. Texas, dumb old Texas. Can I say this from Texas is dumb? The stars are blind in dumb old Texas. Like, that's literally it. That's literally SpongeBob and Patrick making fun of Texas and Sandy snapping, "Don't take the name of Texas in vain. I accept your challenge." That's literally what we got here.
I got to disagree, Booch. This is deep-seated. This is rooted here in the fact that Kevin Owens uses the stunner. This is the way to end the conversation. Who gives it better? Who did it better? Yeah. And I gotta say, there are some. I'm gonna get some heat for this, okay, but I can take it. There are some times that I've seen Kevin Owens stunners that were better delivered than times that I've seen Stone Cold Steve Austin deliver his own finishing move. Would you disagree with that?
Kevin's had some good ones. Austin though has had too many classics.
Well, of course, but
Kenny has had, but
yeah,
Kevin has had some good ones. I'll give him that. Kevin has some good ones as well. There were times where Kevin had stunners that were brilliant, but they didn't even bring that up until the Go Home Raw, where he said, "My stunner is better than yours," and I'm like, you could have did the story just on that. Like Kevin Owens every week didn't even have to have a match. Just come out, hit some people with stunners.
But you know
instead,
what?
They had him just mocking the state of Texas. Like one day Kevin Owens woke up and decided Texas was dumb.
Here's the thing. This is when they got away from the crowd that loved the Attitude Era and catered to the PG audience. This is the consequence of that. They don't remember the stunner, Booch. They don't know what the stunner. If they watch the network, they know who Stone Cold is only because they watch one of these spin-off shows of this old guy who used to wrestle, drank some beer, that kind of thing. They needed that to sell it because they understand their core audience doesn't know who this guy is. So they had to sell some newfound hatred for the state of Texas. Not that that's, not rightful. I mean, look at it. The Cowboys are an atrocity.
Yeah, that's kind of true.
Yeah. I mean, Jerry, the Cowboys will never win anything while he's still alive. I'm just going to put that out there. Sorry. And they deep down, they know it's true. They want to argue about it. They want to talk about it, but the way it is. It's the way it is. I'm sorry, but and I'm also a Philly guy, so they'll be all right. But getting back to this, if that match happens, Booch, Stone Cold, 100%.
Me too.
And he'll give it better. He'll do the best stunner ever. He'll pull a hammy. He'll do it all. He'll talk about it on the ranch. But there you go. So let's move it to Sunday, Booch. We got to get to Sunday here because Saturday has come and gone.
Yes.
And here we are, clear winner after Saturday. Somebody's going to be living the high life again like Steve Winwood. But this first match could set us back. Could set either one of us or both of us back as Queen Zelina, who, by the way, I love this new gimmick with her. The first ever Queen of the Ring. And she's believable. I love her ability to change her facial expressions and sell me on her mood without saying a word. That's subtle, but it's brilliant. And I like that. And Carmella too, she's coming somewhat in her own. I'm not like 100% on the Carmella train. I might get there. Not dismissing it. But they're the champs. Can't argue with the results. They're taking on Sasha Banks and Naomi, but they're taking on Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, and they're taking on Natalya and Shayna Baszler in a free-for-all fatal four-way tag team match for the Women's Tag Team Championship. Booch, I've already made my selection. You see it on the screen. Feel free to leave it out, read it out loud for the people.
Yes, he's got Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. I'm going to say this, like I said before, with the McIntyre Corbin match. Please do not let this open the show, because at some point I will need a bathroom break. And from everything else on this show, this is going to be it. Not because they're women, but because this is the only match that's poorly put together. Because it's one of those matches where we got to make it a fatal four-way. Why? Because we got to get everybody on the card. WrestleMania is now a participation trophy, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody has to have a WrestleMania moment, even though some of these guys were not ready to be on the show. Some of y'all ain't. It's like, this should be reserved for the top guys or the biggest rivalries or the biggest names. And if you're not in any of those three categories, go to the Performance Center and practice. Learn your moves, cut some promos, or here's a bright idea, draw some money, and then you can get on next year. So, but I digress. Okay, I look at this and I'm going with Sasha and Naomi. I think are going to win this because they're team bad. They got back together. I feel like they could have a run with the belts. Like Selena and Carmella aren't doing anything with them. Nothing against Queen Selena's gimmick. I love it, but they're not doing anything with it. So Natalya and Shayna Baszler wouldn't make any sense. Why? Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, maybe it would work, but I'm not feeling Liv Morgan. So I'm gonna go with Sasha and Naomi.
All right. Yeah, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan it is for me. I don't particularly favor them as far as being a fan, but in this match, it makes sense the way they're pushing them, and they're getting a boost. It's a clear boost. Liv Morgan is getting a pop right now. They're trying to push Liv Morgan to the top. And I like Liv Morgan. Like, I'm not in love with her, but I like her. Her gimmick is believable-ish, and she's getting there. So, and Rhea Ripley, she's a physical specimen, bitch. She really is.
Oh yeah.
And every now and then you get a decent promo out of Rhea. So this tag team, it makes sense. It makes sense for them to take it. And wow, neither of us selected the defending champion here. That's interesting.
Yeah.
Johnny Knoxville. All right, Booch, this match right here, this is going to be a fun one. Johnny Knoxville taking on Sami Zayn in an anything goes match. And if you are familiar with the Jackass franchise, you know if anything goes, anything goes. We could see a literal reenactment of Willie and Indiana Jones in the Hong Kong place with the wheel and the balloons and the poison and the antidote. Anything goes. That scene. Yeah. That could be this match. We don't know. I'd love to see that reenactment. Who would play Willie? Who would it be? I don't know.
I don't know either. But
I'm going to take Sami Zayn in this match overall. Johnny's going to get some pops in. He'll get a roll up, a cradle, a 2 count, something like that. And then Sami Zayn's got to win this match, right? That's embarrassing if he loses this match, right?
Here's the thing. Would it be embarrassing? Yes. If it was a wrestling match. If this was going to be a wrestling match,
you got me. Yep.
Then yes, Sammy would have to. Now Johnny might get some shots in because he's Johnny Knoxville, but here's the other thing though. Now, first of all, there's questions you need to ask is how serious is Johnny taking this match? Is he?
Oh, he's serious. He's got to be serious.
I mean, as in is he in a ring? Is he training? Is he learning how to work? I'm hoping he is. But here's the thing that makes anything in this match believable. If you look, because I'm one of those people, I look for believability. Believe in what I'm seeing. That's what wrestling is. Mm-hmm. Here's what makes it believable. Because of the Jackass franchise, we know one thing for sure. Johnny Knoxville can take damage and keep going.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
We've seen it.
Yeah.
Whether you've seen the TV show or all 4 movies. I ain't seen the 4th one yet, but I want to. But we've seen Johnny Knoxville take beatings. We've seen him get shocked. We've seen him run with the Bulls. We've seen him, and I don't mean the Chicago Bulls. I mean like actual Toro,
in Spain.
Toro Bulls. Yeah, like that kind of bull. Like we've seen him do everything. So Sami Zayn can dish out all the punishment he wants. If Johnny gets up and keeps on coming, it's believable. It doesn't make Sami look weak because Johnny can take damage. And because anything goes, a variety of things can happen. Johnny can use a variety of weapons. Someone can interfere. Hell, the whole Jackass squad could come out.
I was just thinking, what if Steve-O comes out? I think they could do it at Mania.
Steve-O's hosted WrestleMania, so it's not like Steve-O's a stranger to any of this. Mm-hmm. You could have Steve-O come out, or you know what would be even funnier is if they went underneath. Is if Sami went underneath the ring, and Wee Man came out dressed as Hornswoggle, because Hornswoggle used to come out of the ring and run around and stuff.
Yep.
Or like, what if Wee Man came out dressed as Horn? So you think it's Hornswoggle, and you look up, it's Wee Man from Jackass, and he kicks Sami in the nuts. Like,
brilliant booking. They'll never.
I'm just saying, they'll never do it. But you have so many things you can do with this, and here's even further proof that Johnny T beating. In one of the Jackasses, they do a boxing match in a clothing store with Butterbean.
I remember that one.
So again, these guys can take damage.
Yep.
And here's the thing. People also need to remember, this is what we call at WrestleMania an attraction match, which means this is not designed to be a technical masterpiece. It's designed to entertain and entertain the crowd. Because there are matches that are designed to be the show stealers, like the one we're going to get to later. There's ones that are designed to get everybody on the card, like the Fatal 4-Way Tag Match. Then you have your big money-making main event, which we're going to get to later. But then you have your attraction matches, which are designed to entertain the crowd and get them on their feet. That's what this is. And because of all that, I'm going to have some fun with WrestleMania. I'm going with Johnny Knoxville.
I feel like you're going to win that match. Dang it. I should not have picked Sami Zayn.
Yeah, well, let's be honest. I love Sami Zayn, but they don't do a lot to push him. So I'm going with
not at all. They do a lot to pull him down. Hey, let's move on to the next match here. Pat McAfee taking on the aforementioned Austin Theory storyline from Elimination Chamber. How is he participating? How is he alive? He's Vince's boy moving forward, IMO. And therefore, he is my pick. Booch, it's WrestleMania. Is Pat McAfee going to get a licking and keep on ticking?
Pat McAfee, and I can say this because I know Wenz has never watched NXT.
Nope.
Pat McAfee wrestled a match in NXT a few years back. He had a big rivalry with Adam Cole, and they tore the house down. Pat McAfee knows how to wrestle, knows how to work, knows psychology, and he was trained by Rip Rogers, which for those of you who don't know is one of the all-time best wrestling trainers on the planet. He was pretty much he was a jobber, but he wasn't like a horrible. He was like a Brooklyn Brawler kind of jobber. Like he had a gimmick and everything, but he was the guy that helped get people over, but he was okay with that job. Like he wasn't one of those jobbers that hated it. He enjoyed it because he was still making money in the business, which is what he loved to do. But he was the measuring stick in WCW for whether or not you were ready for TV. You would work a match with him. He would come back, look at the people in charge, and he would go, thumbs up, thumbs down. You got the thumbs up. They started putting you on Nitro. If your thumb was down, they sent you back to the power plant, which was their version of the Performance Center, and you need more work. You're not ready. But if you were ready, Rip Rogers was the judge of that. And he trained Pat McAfee, and they had an amazing match. Pat McAfee is phenomenal in a wrestling ring. I prayed to God for Pat to get a match at WrestleMania this year. And before he left for AEW, I thought they were going to call up Adam Cole and they would put Pat McAfee versus Adam Cole at WrestleMania the way they did in NXT because I knew it would draw money. But now he's got Austin Theory, and Austin Theory, I'm sorry, but you're losing this Sunday.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm listening to this. I agree with you now that you went through your diatribes 2 matches in a row that I think I'm going to be wrong on, but I'm sticking with it, and I'm going to stick with the Alpha Academy. I mean, look at this face. Look at this face. Otis's face is it's gorgeous, stunning. It's a face of winning. And the Alpha Academy is going to win this match. RK Bro, Street Profits, triple threat tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships. No reason they don't win this match, Booch.
I can think of one. And it's this. A while back on Monday Night Raw, Montez Ford pinned Randy Orton. It takes a lot for a top guy like Randy Orton to lose in a match or eat a pin. I don't think that was an accident, and I don't think that was something they randomly came up with. I think it's to get the Street Profits ready for another run. And like I said, RK Bro at some point's got to come to an end. They can't keep this going forever. And plus, Orton and Riddle feuding against each other, especially with Orton drop someone at RKO, would work for the long term. Because WrestleMania is usually when they hit the reset button. So what better time to do it? And they bring the swag like nobody can. So I'm going with Street Profits.
All right. I'm sticking with the Alpha Academy. Edge versus AJ. Speed round. 3 matches left, Booch. Fire time. Edge versus AJ. I'm going Edge. What's your take?
Loving the build. Love the new Edge. Think this is a match that's designed to steal the show, and I think it's going to steal the show. No doubt about it. Potential to be match of the night. And as much as I love Edge, I feel like this is going to be Edge. I know Edge he's part-time. So I'm sure he has to get a win event. He has to get some wins from time to time to keep himself credible, but I don't think it's going to be against AJ Styles. So I'm going with the phenomenal one on this one.
I am going to go with the rated R superstar that still totally reeks of awesomeness, Edge, in the singles match. Bobby Lashley versus Omos. I think Omos and Joel Embiid are the same person. I'm not sure, but they are both giants, and they resemble each other a lot, like in the face.
Yeah,
like they could be brothers if Omos had more hair. But I'm gonna go with Bobby Lashley in this. I mean, if Bobby Lashley loses this match, it's kind of disappointing because it's not believable in my mind. You talked about believability earlier. Not at this point for Omos. He's not a believable contender for Lashley, and I'm going to go with Bobby Lashley.
I am too. And I think Bobby Lashley is definitely going to beat Omos. And I will mention why later because I don't want to step over the next match. So I'll just say Bobby.
Winner takes all the next match to unify the WWE Championship and the Universal Championship as the current champion, Brock Lesnar, takes on Roman Reigns, the head of the table, the Universal Champion, with Paul Heyman in his corner. Booch, go for it, man.
This is the match I wanted to see. When I saw Brock win the Rumble, I was like, we got to make this title versus title. We've got to have this moment. We need to unify the titles because we need one champion. The roster's not strong enough. The WWE title has basically been meaningless ever since Roman started dominating. And Roman's made his point, in my opinion. 500 plus day reign as champion. He's the head of the table. He's everything else. He's made his point. Like, this guy has dominated everyone. But again, and I say this every time his match is brought up, but I have to. The reason I have to is because it is a question that needs to be answered. And it is, who else? Look at the SmackDown roster. Hell, go look at the Raw roster too. Find me one. I will challenge the internet. Find me one current wrestler on that roster or a part-timer you want to bring in that is credible enough currently, not months from now, not a year from now, right now, currently at the time that we are sitting here recording this, which is a few days before Mania. And tell me, name me one person that is currently credible enough to beat Roman Reigns that hasn't already been smashed and bashed and beaten and victimized and conquered. And I know those are Lesnar phrases, but I'm going to use them here too. Because Roman's beaten everyone. Anyone that possibly was credible enough to beat him, Roman has beaten. And he not only beat them, he beat them decisively. He stacked two guys on top of each other at last year's WrestleMania and pinned them 1, 2, 3 in the middle of the ring. After a certain point, you got to get a belt off of somebody, because if Roman keeps that belt for very long, it's not going to draw money because people are going to know Roman's going to win. It needs to end. This needs to end. And Brock right now is the guy to do it. Because he's been showing up every week. He's super over with the fans right now. We talked about this when we talked about Chamber. There's nobody else. And now you're probably wondering, well, if Brock wins, where do you go from there? Here's what you do. Brock goes over at Mania, becomes the WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. That's what I would call the belt, at least. Because last time they unified the belts, they said WWE World Heavyweight title. So you might as well say WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion. Just do that. And after that, here's what you do. You go to SummerSlam. And at SummerSlam, Bobby Lashley, who we're hoping beats Omos, that's why I want Bobby to win. Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar have their rematch at SummerSlam. The match that was tainted by Roman Reigns. And then what do? You have Bobby Lashley go over on Brock Lesnar. But this time, Lashley beats Lesnar decisively. No interference, no excuses. The Almighty conquers the conqueror. Then Bobby Lashley can hold that belt for a good long run until, not too long, but long enough to establish him as the Almighty. And then you bring somebody in after you've built someone up that's credible. Because that's been the biggest problem with this whole thing. Roman has not had a credible opponent. So they haven't been brought anything up. So at the end of the day, Brock Lesnar has to win. And I say he's going to win. Brock Lesnar is winning at WrestleMania.
I could not agree more. This is going to be, hopefully it lives up to what this match should represent. I love what you said about how it could play out. Now, Booch, you've said a lot in the past that if they had gone that course, the storylines would have been infinitely better. But as we both know, WWE never disappoints us in disappointing us. And because they never disappoint us in disappointing us, I will not disappoint you. Because you're used to us saying a couple key phrases, one of which is, have a nice day.
The other is, bang, bang.